Welcome, Irina, for the 53.3 in your radiance and the 53.1 in your attraction field. Very, very powerful. I know a little bit about the attraction field right now. Somebody shared it with me how that works in your life. But also, you know, in your radiance, your body and the environment is very important for you. So I'm very curious how that expresses itself in your life. If there's anywhere you would like to start on your journey with the 53, please do.
Okay, so yeah, the 53. 53 is the expansion as the gift, immaturity as the shadow, and superabundance as the city. And before I knew human design and gene keys, I kind of always already felt like this pull towards expanding. So be it learning about mindset and like personal development, traveling, breaking a little bit the mold of my family too. Like I was the first one to study, even though my family was like, oh, it's going to be hard and it's going to be expensive and I'm not sure if you're going to do it, you know. And like, okay, I gotta like try it out, you know, like kind of expand, just do it. Or I moved to London with my fiance. I quit my job to start a business. So all those things, you know, like I had to kind of, yeah, break the mold of my maybe family, but also of what's comfortable. Like at some point I need to kind of grow further. And additionally to like the 53 as expansion, expansion in attraction and radiance, I have in my purpose sphere, I have the achiever being aspiration and so on. So that kind of, I think it's like the programming partner. So that kind of works together too.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of growth. And yeah, I wanted already to tell you about funny thing that I also did, for example, like crazy things, nah? Like for example, during my study time, I tried a bit of productivity, like stuff out that kind of could increase my productivity, yeah. And one thing that I did, and I'm pretty sure not everyone has tried that out, is the polyphasic sleep.
Oh, I don't know. I know a lot about sleep, but that I don't know. So please tell.
It's apparently, I think Michelangelo or somebody did that. And I don't know how I got to that, but it was a crazy, crazy experiment because you basically sleep for half an hour every 2 hours. So you get used to sleeping small naps during the day, and not the big sleep of in the night.
So you go
and I did this
hours, and then every 2 hours you take half an hour sleep, but you do that for 24 hours. How was that?
Insane.
What did it bring you? Expansion?
So what did it bring me? Well, expansion, yeah, it's kind of like I felt like first of all, you are like super awake also during the night. Né? Everybody is like sleeping, and you almost feel like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I don't know, almost like superhuman. I don't know, you know, like yeah, like
go like everybody's sleeping, but I want to do something. Who wants to play?
I'm studying, yeah, I'm studying and stuff and doing stuff.
Yeah,
working back then. Too. Yeah.
It sounds like superabundance to me because I feel you get more things done. When you're also during the night and then you count the hours, you have more productive hours.
I do, yeah. But it did, I mean, in the end, it did have also its, how do you say, drawbacks. And I don't want to like dive too deep into that, but like it's hard to have any social life and meet up with people if you need to sleep every 2 hours, right? like you go to someone and be like, oh, it's nap time. Can I use your bed? Or and also it started to kind of also mess a little bit with my head, being like I was more forgetful. I don't know. I don't think it's normal. But anyway, I tried it out, right? It's like one of those things that I think not everybody tries out, but like I had to try it out because I felt like, yeah, it's gonna give me some growth, expansion.
You felt a drive, you felt driven to try it out.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the attraction, I feel like. And the attraction is also, I feel like sometimes I'm attracting situations that are like for me there to grow, to expand my edges, so to say, like I don't know, like in the past, maybe I used to argue much more in the past, especially if I was like really convinced by something, and then I was one of those keyboard warriors a little bit, you know, like argue online, for example, which doesn't help anyone, but like I attracted some situations, some conflicts with people where I used to argue with them, and until I kind of grew out of it, so to say, until I noticed, well, it doesn't help. I will never prove them wrong. They will never prove me wrong. So those type of things, like, those type of people and situations where I feel like, okay, I attract things that, and I know that already. So if something comes, I'm like, okay, so what is the invitation here for me to expand?
And then you get to choose if it is a moment for you to expand, to go into that situation or not.
Or to be immature about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And
what I've learned about the 53, that I never call anything wrong or right, because I feel like when you get triggered to go into the immaturity again, it gives you an opportunity to grow up afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a learning too, of course. Like that's why we also say like, okay, embrace your shadow, because I guess that the moments maybe where I felt super abundant is the moments where not where I like, I don't know, won a lot of money or something like that, but more the moments where I felt like I'm a human, and like I just this like feeling of I embrace all human experiences, because I'm here to have those experiences. I'm here to have the range of emotion from sadness to joy and everything in between.
Right.
And I guess that's what's like meant by super abundance. I don't experience that every day, but it's like, it's like where you just feel content with the now, or joyous about the now, and like how everything is.
Or maybe it's that the purpose of the 53. It's inviting you to not sit still. It's inviting you to, when you feel comfortable, it's time to go out again and to experience something again. It always keeps calling you in, because that's how the attractor field works. So you might even go like, oh no, here we go again. Or you could go like, oh, here we go again.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, with the attraction field, I feel a lot of the, what was it? Like there is the repressive state of it, and there is the, what's the other one? Active nature. Like I attract a lot of like interesting situations for me to expand. And I do not have the counterpart of the channel, the 42, which is like ending the cycles. So the 53 is like beginning the cycles, but I don't have the ending the cycles. So I'm always starting new things, you know? So sometimes I do feel like, okay, I'm fickle in that sense. Now I need to be more discerning in where I put my energy into, but because I attract all those new interesting things, I love to start. I love to start. I love to learn new. New is exciting to me, and I guess it's radiance. So it makes me kind of
feel good,
come alive, so to say.
Right. So do you feel, because it comes out of the root and it goes to the sacral, and you don't really have the channel, so you have this constant urge, you feel this pressure, like I wanna go, you're right, but then at some point there has to be a connection to the sacral, and then you can respond to it like, oh yes, here I have the energy for this, suits me, this nourishes me, this will bring me the expansion. Do you recognize that, or how does that feel in your body when that happens?
Yes.
When it's the right thing, or is there
so usually I follow too much the train of reaction state sometimes. And then I also have the vocation, and for example, in stillness. So there is this beginning new, but in my profile there is also stillness and the clarity, like this going inward, so to say.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I do go into stillness and I slow down and I ask myself, is that what I want to do, or no, is this other thing what I want to do? Then I have more success in actually hearing my sacral.
Right. Yeah, I call it sometimes your inner voice, because we've got different inner voices, but this one is important, right? And so when you let these two archetypes work together as they should, you know, it's a team. We've got a whole team inside ourselves. Then you know that's the expansion that already was brought into your life by your experiences, that when these two work together, you always get the experience you kind of expect or want it to be, maybe.
Yeah, the unexpected wanted experience.
Right, that's a funny paradox, right? Because even when we don't want to expect anything, there is still this anticipation, right?
Of course. Yes.
Always. Yes. That's the joy of it. Yeah. You shared with me, because I know you in other conversations, a bit about your childhood as Reddy, and that you were born in Kazakhstan, if I pronounce it right, I hope, because I'm European, so it doesn't sound good in English. And you've moved to Germany and then UK. Can you tell a little bit about how that felt for you, how you experienced that, and how does it maybe even is a real big part of your life in the expansion of going different places and different cities and...
Yeah, so in coming to Germany from Kazakhstan, that was with my parents. I was only 8 years old, so that wasn't really my decision. And I think, if I remember right, I didn't want it as a child back then. I kind of was rather, I don't want to leave, I have my friends, and so on and so on. No? But in the end, of course, it was good. I mean, being in Germany, I had much more opportunities. I think. I mean, I never know. Maybe I would have grown there too, but I don't know. You never know, right? But yeah. So I feel like for my parents, it was more like they were more following already, like my grandmother was already in Germany, my aunt, her family were already in Germany. So my ancestors are German, no? So that's why they were able to go from Kazakhstan to Germany. So I feel like now looking at it, it was, I mean, it was a bold decision, but still they kind of followed, I feel like, my family, because if they would have stayed there, they would be like without like my aunt and my grandparents and so on. While for me personally, traveling or going abroad was always like, yeah, like I just want to try it out, you know, like I want to go to London, and then I want to go to Vienna. Austria. Go live there. I actually went to London to expand my language in English, because I thought that my English language wasn't so great. I wanted to do my business in English, and so I just like went to London to kind of immerse myself into the language completely, which worked. And so I feel like, yeah, that's one of those things that people look at and think, wow, this is kind of bold or courageous to just go there to learn the language. But for me, it's almost natural. I don't know. It's like,
it is bold, you know, to go in a strange country, different people, different culture, and then not really knowing the language yet, because I know that German people are, well, now they speak English, but there was a time that they didn't speak not any English, not much, yeah. Right? Even in the Netherlands, the German people came, they did not speak English and they didn't speak Dutch. They just spoke German, and they expected of us to speak German. And when you talked English, because I don't know German very well, they would go like, yeah, I find it very bold of you and very brave to expand in such a way and just go over there. And I don't know how long you've been there, but I think you must have been there for quite some while to really bathe in the language and to listen to all those people talking in their language. And then, you know, the trajectory of repeating and verbalizing and whole process, right?
Yeah. I've been there for about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I think that's the 53, maybe also that, like, for other people it looks bold, but for me it doesn't necessarily feels like such a huge, bold risk. I just decide, oh, I want to do this. And then, like, I guess my pearl, the mountaineer, figures out how to climb the mountain.
For you, it's natural because, yeah, when it's in your radiance, it's the body that is leading you. You have this urge, this drive, and you just, your body just tells you, let's go do this. Let's go. Brave. Yeah. And then the mountain says, yeah, let's climb the mountain and let's do this. That's amazing.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot. I always forget those stories. It's funny. But actually, there was even earlier. I moved out from my parents' home really early at 18 and moved together with my then boyfriend because I met him, but he was like we were in a long distance relationship. So I moved quite far away, like 800 kilometers. And I was still in school. So I had to organize my school, 2 years of school myself. So I feel like, okay, that's maybe again like such an example where like I look back and I don't know how I decided that back then.
You go like, I don't know how I did it, I just did it.
Exactly.
So it wasn't Germany, but Germany is a big country. So it was 800 kilometers. And then you would go with the bus by train. How did that go? How did you manage yourself?
What do you mean?
Well, you said,
I moved there.
Oh, you really moved there, but the study was also over there.
So so my parents and we used to live in the north of Germany, and then the moment I turned 18, I said, "Mama, Papa, I'm gonna go," and then I moved in the south of Germany.
Okay.
And lived with my then boyfriend and his family, actually.
Okay, so all in one house. That's a big challenge as well, I feel. No judgment.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a story over there, what you experienced in those 2 years of you studying and living with people that are not your family. So you're kind of independent on them. You need your own space to study, but you also have a relationship. So you're in the house having a new relationship with, and then being in the house with the parents. How does that work? How do you explain that?
Yeah, it was just like, I mean, I was young. They are normal people. They are not like super immersed in mindset or anything like that. It was, we kind of lived together and had our conflicts, and yeah, I learned to how to live with them, having my job there. They actually helped me organize like a job in an elderly home. I was like helping in an elderly home, and yeah, going to school. So yeah, it is definitely a situation that probably not everybody goes through. So definitely I learned how to like live with people.
You just came from a family you wanted to leave, you wanted to be on your own, and then you came in another family which are totally different people, even if though they are very nice and they're very open and they provide for you know, and making the dinner,
exactly,
whatever. But it's still, yeah, I feel that you become this, because when we're talking about immaturity and expansion and kind of growing up, you came in this new family as a daughter.
True.
Right. So you had to grow up in that house as well. So that's why I found it so interesting, because relationships are so important in all of our lives, all our connections. They provide us something, I feel. So that I am very curious of what was the biggest thing that you learned while you were in that family, being the daughter or daughter-in-law with their son, and then living together.
Oh my God, good question. I was so young. Yeah, I think like just how to like that we are all people and have like our how do you say, habits and stuff like that, you know, and how to kind of like give each other space and still kind of live together. Yeah.
So all good memories.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. And then, so you were done with studying, and were you also done with the boyfriend? How did that go, that part of your life?
We moved then together, like out from the parents and together for a while. At some point we did break up, but it was like after 6-7 years.
Okay. So you grew up together.
Exactly.
It would be nice if you have his chart and maybe he has the other end of the 53, right? The 42. And then
I haven't looked at it. No, yeah, it's quite a long time ago.
But it's sometimes so good to reflect back. And that's why we are bringing the Archetype Akasha, because I feel our memories has such a value for others, and even for the younger people that are going to watch the Archetype Akasha, and they are just starting with the human design and the gene keys and bridging the gap, that they have something to relate to, and they can only relate to it by the stories that we share. But we are in the 31 now, of course, and the 33 is coming up, so I'm feeling that energy in here as well. But
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so you were in your 20s. And then something whole new started, because when your relationships end, sometimes you have to move again. Sometimes the job changes. How did that go?
Well, I was still studying. I moved into like a shared flat with, I had a couple of shared flats sometimes move. But funny, yeah, I never really liked to live alone. That's one thing. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I moved in a shared flat and continued studying until I was finished. And then I moved from south of Germany to Berlin to start a job here.
To the big city.
Mm-hmm.
How was
I'm attracted by the big city. Yeah. Like my fiance is like, let's go to the suburbs or smaller city. I'm like, no. I love the cafes. I love the cultural things. Probably also the 53 where I need my cafes. I need to kind of find new places sometimes, discover new places. Right. Yeah.
Because you feel that they might give you some new insights or new beginnings, inspiration, and do this thing.
Yeah. I can't really put it in a word.
No.
Maybe inspiration. Yeah, just like a exciting feeling, I guess. Exciting experience. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. So when we can talk about the lines as well, because the radiance has the line 3. It says practicality. It is most natural position, the concentration on avoiding conflicts to ensure protection and continued development. The pressure to eliminate conflict in order to develop new beginnings, developed, gradual advance, takes place as an organic process that brings increase, self-knowledge and experience. Well, we don't have to talk about that because you just shared it in your stories. I go like, oh, wow. And then in your attraction field, the line 1, it says, let me see, sensing great progress comes from well-considered beginnings. You've shared it already, that you make a little co-creation with your, which was it, 50, which one is on the other side? 52, right?
52.
The mountain, right. And it says, you grow in life by refining your abilities to start new ventures. And you already shared a little bit about that because, you know, when working together with the other archetype, how does it feel right now at this moment? Because you are in the BBD course and I know that you have had your own business and you had on Instagram lots of followers and that fell apart and then you started anew. So I also hit a 53 in that. But I don't know where you are at right now because we haven't spoken for a bit and the people here don't know you as well. So enlighten us. How is it today for you?
Yeah, interesting. Like I feel like it's all kind of coming together. So my brand evolved a lot from the past. And I feel like that was maybe also one of the expansions from losing my Instagram account, that it was like what I was talking about there. I mean, I was always authentic, but it wasn't so mega aligned anymore. Like the topics were like the old version of me, so to say, you know, like a bit masculine energy type of version. So my brand evolved from bossylicious, which is like, okay, redefining bossy and kind of ambitious for women, you know, starting your own business, creating that freedom for yourself, to soulicious now, which is much more still the delicious in there, right? I love the delicious life part. But yeah, just expanding in the terms of maybe also expanding from a little bit, I don't know if you know the Maslow pyramid of needs. So from the material, kind of like to the soul and spirituality and for myself, but then also because I'm like, I have a lot of 1-3 lines, so anything I do for myself, I I want to like then share, so to say. So then it kind of was incorporated in my brand now, the Soulicious way, not Bossylicious anymore. And yeah, so again, attracting the situation of losing my Instagram and then like understanding what is the learning out of it. Well, a rebrand, a rethinking of my business and what is aligned and what is not aligned anymore in my business. And also understanding that those followers, that doesn't matter. Yeah. Another learning through my profile, also I learned that I need much more intimacy. It's my Venus intimacy. And because I felt a little bit out of alignment, I also didn't create this intimacy anymore with my audience through my stories on my Instagram, you know?
Mm-hmm. Was it also maybe because it wasn't aligned with you anymore, with yourself, with your soul anymore? You could not get that intimacy because it wasn't authentic.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was everything still me, but it was talking about not now, but the old me, and like not exciting anymore.
No.
Also.
So
I was talking about things I actually didn't want to talk about anymore.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
It was still authentic, but like, yeah, not that interesting anymore.
Funny that you bring that up, because I recognize that at some other level with my 53, when you talk about, well, there were things I didn't want to talk about anymore. It is still you because it's part of your story. But I also feel that with any relationship with some of my friends, that I had to let go of friends because they were still in that same story and same. Yeah, I don't want to put things down. There's no right and wrong, but the mundane life and all the drama in it. And I was far gone from the drama. I had been there, done that, and said, okay, not anymore. We go beyond. We expand. And then you go to the superabundance, of course. But I wanted to take that next step towards superabundance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let go of the people that don't resonate anymore. Because
it's just not even like, oh, I want to let go of those people or something. It's just that you want to put your energy into what's exciting for you right now, and that's this.
Did you also experience when you did engage with those people that you felt kind of depleted afterwards? That was my experience. It was when I was with those people and talking. You know, I wanted to stay in their world because otherwise I had to let them go, and I loved them. But at the same time, every time I felt depleted when I was with them, and was like, okay, now I have to choose, sort of, not consciously, but my body gave kind of a signal of this is no good anymore for you. You need something, like you said, something exciting, something to fill you up again that gives you energy and drive. Was it the same for you?
Not exactly, because I'm like, I have this where I don't know, it's maybe my Aquarius, I don't know what it is in the gene keys, but my Aquarius that then says like, I just burned that bridge, I don't care. You know, like I just gotta move on or whatever.
So for you, it was more kind of, okay.
I just connect then, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can do
Which
that
is not,
well, but sometimes are more difficult than other times. When I have a reason, like somebody did something wrong, I can close the door immediately, and I don't care anymore. I don't even care what you did to me anymore. It's gone. But on the other side, you know, when something doesn't give you energy anymore, yeah, it's sometimes still.
Yeah. I don't do it in a resentful way, but it's like naturally, I feel like when our vibrations, our energy is not aligned anymore, that we just like, there is no conflict or anything, or saying like, oh, I don't want to talk to you anymore. No, or ignoring them when they are coming to me. I just feel like naturally we just like go apart, you know, go different paths or something like that. Yeah. And I feel like that what happened with my audience then on my Instagram. I just wasn't so excited anymore, even to engage with. That was the old me, but didn't excite me so much anymore. Then when people engaged with it, I wasn't so excited about engaging with them, right? Because it wasn't exciting to me.
I understand. When we go, because I always like to talk a little bit about the shadows, because it's the easiest way for people to start about the immaturity. When you think about the word immaturity, because they're just guidelines for us to recognize it, do you have any maybe examples on how immaturity showed up for you? If when you look back, you go like, I was very immature there, and then I did this, or I made a decision like that. Then I started to expand and become more mature and grow up in that field or that part of your life.
I find this word kind of very, very difficult. I was contemplating a lot, like how that shadow maybe like showed itself in my life. So immaturity, what I associate with it a little bit is like childish, or also. I feel like immature is maybe what I mentioned, like arguing with people, for example, like trying to convince them that my view or how I'm thinking is the right way. So that's maybe one thing it shows. Immaturity.
And maybe in relationships, because you also mentioned that you need more intimacy, because you have that in your Venus chart. And maybe I feel there is still something there you kind of feel not, I don't like the word, well, I do like the word, but I know what you mean. In what part of the intimacy you feel like you can still grow more? Maybe maybe that question will help you.
Well, I feel like I could grow a little bit more out of my profile of the being 1-3, which is like the scientist in their like little, laboratory, and like be more proactive in creating intimate relationship with my audience, with whoever like I meet, or I feel like that's maybe also a good example with those relationships. Like when I started my business, I was very much like, oh, I need to make money, I need to make money, I need to make money. And so that's how I went with meeting people with this mindset, right? I guess that's also, I read that immaturity is also like a lack or scarcity type of mindset. So that's, I guess, immature, and also comparing to my Venus intimacy. I can't create intimacy if I go with the mind of, are they gonna be my client or not? I love it. Like you're either this or you're not.
And then you complete intimacy, because that's about bonding, and it doesn't matter if money comes or not. It's about what you give from you.
Exactly. Getting to know people,
right?
And being interested in them apart from are they gonna be your client or not. It doesn't really matter, because people come into your life for some kind of purpose.
Right. Yeah.
So that's, I guess, was like a expansion, growth in relationships for me. Yeah.
You feel that there's already a shift there happening, or has happened already? Is that mindset already changed, or do you still struggle a little bit?
Well, very consciously it changed, because I I mean, I needed a bit of mindset work, but I do understand that it is a very selfish approach, intent to go out there and be like a very scarcity, coming from scarcity, intent to go out there and be like, oh, who's my client, who's not, or I need clients. That's the very lack and fear and scarcity driven. And I did like I've done a lot of work around abundance mindset.
Cool. Okay. Can you share a bit about that? Because superabundance, abundance.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, abundance mindset is basically to, in this case, to just know when I'm offering something that is helpful, then the right person, if I go out there with the right energy, with the right intent of helping people, that what I'm offering is gonna be helpful in changing their lives and like, or helping them understand something and so on, then the money, that energy that will flow to me, I'm just like expecting that money to flow to me, but not in the way of, oh, I need to like control it. Right. But I just, I have the trust that it's coming, and I price my things too, because I know that they need it also. I mean, I also have free resources, but I also have paid resources, because I know from my personal experience that if I'm getting something for free, then I'm not really as invested maybe in the change. So that's kind of the intent and mindset that I go about business. And also with the relationship that I make, if I see an interesting person, I just want to get to know them. And with the intention, maybe I don't know what they will be. Maybe they become a friend. Maybe they become an acquaintance. Maybe they become some kind of business partner, supporter. Maybe they become a client. I don't know, right?
I just hear beginnings in that. When you approach life like that, I only see beginnings. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also hear the 59 in that very, very much. That's the only way to get the intimacy, is to be open for whatever the 53 beginnings brings in, right?
And it works together. Yeah. My Venus and my attraction.
Everything works together. We just have to figure it out how they work best together, right?
True. Yeah, and that's the superabundance. I mean, are there days where I feel sometimes lack or whatever from something that happens? Of course, I'm a human being, right? And I accept that. Or like, that's the thing that I mentioned, like the whole range of emotions. We are like here to have this human experience and to learn something from that emotion that I might be having. Like, as long as I'm conscious and I'm like, oh, what's that? And why am I feeling that? Yeah. Then it kind of more invites me for growth.
Exactly. And also the intimacy with yourself, I feel. Because we kind of forget, we always think about intimacy, we always think of the other. And again, that goes outside, while even the 53 invites us to go inside. And then with the intimacy and these two in particularly now, working together, I also feel when you go sit with that feeling like I feel and then you go, why do I feel this way? Well, I like to have my business like this or that. And then you sort of kind of father yourself in that it is okay to feel that, and that you're just human, like you said. And then suddenly you just maybe rise up again and feel this energy and drive again to just go out there and do your thing. And then all the other people, the new beginnings will come to you again.
Yeah, interesting that you say that, because that used to be also a challenge for me, like as a 20 something or earlier, during university, the root pressure kind of made me like restless, and I didn't really want to be, or I was scared of being alone with my thoughts and like what will come up then, you know, or feelings. Rather do something, like just get busy, you know.
Yeah, I also hear that a little bit when you say, I want to live in the city, because then I get to go to the cafes and the this and the that, and then I hear like, okay, the restlessness, the shadow is always there present, and it's okay. It's okay as long as you are aware of it, right?
Exactly, as long as I still create space to be intimate with myself.
Right, yeah. So you when you see a challenge, you think that is it, that you create the space to just be with you, whatever feelings that you have or whatever thoughts that you have, that you just allow them. So
yeah. So I don't know what like other people do in tools, but for me personally, it means the stillness. So the sitting down, sitting with myself and my journal. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So your practice is, your tool is to sit down with a journal and just write down your thoughts and your feelings, or what do you write?
Yeah, just a stream of consciousness, and then usually the shifting happens itself. No, like, I mean, I do have mindset tools that more consciously I can use, but usually when I do this, when I have like some kind of feeling or something, it is a stream of consciousness. It is like, once you know what it's there, it shifts almost itself, because sometimes it's just ridiculous, you know, it's just funny what's coming up there. Like,
well, it's never ridiculous, it's just your thoughts and they're yours, so they're perfect.
For sure. No, not in the sense of making myself bad for it, but like it's just funny, like how the fear mind works, so to say.
Right. We're almost on the hour, and you set me thinking, and that's what I like about doing these interviews, is that other people make me think and go inside myself also with new thoughts and new ideas. Nice. And visions. And but I always like this last question, like when you tap into your 53, kind of a bit like how Simone does it. When you tap into your 53, what comes up for you that it wants to share with us, a wisdom or maybe an experience you haven't shared yet, or anything that might come up for you that you feel that needs to be said right now? You can think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess if I tap to when I tap into the 53, what the 53 wants me to know is that, yeah, the experience is worth for the experience. Good, like sad, joyous, whatever, it's all there. For we've chosen to come into, like, to reincarnate our soul into this human, so enjoy all the range of experiences.
I love that. I feel the same. It's all about the experience, and like you said, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Right?
Exactly.
And when it even is the ugly, but when you're in the good again, you go like, ah, that's what the ugly brought. And now I'm even more happier.
Yeah. And how would you know what
or bad is?
There is not this.
Right.
Yeah.
Irina, I want to thank you so much for your time and all your wisdom.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Like,